Hi everybody, I'm Margaret Lewin and welcome to Margaret Lewin Quilting. Today it's time for Quick Tip Tuesday and I'm going to show you how to calculate your backing requirements. What we need to start off with to figure out our backing requirements are the exact size of the quilt as it is right now. The quilt that I'm working with is 96 inches by 105 inches. As a long armor, I like at least an additional 4 inches on all 4 sides. So I need to add 8 inches to the width and I need to add 8 inches to the length. So that gives me enough to work with when putting the quilt on my long arm. All right. So I need 113 inches by 104 inches. That's the requirement that I need for backing fabric. This is the width and this is the length. All right. My fabric, which this is the fabric I'm going to be doing it with. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a tulip pink fabric, and it's going on the back of a quilt that Lindsay has made. All right. One of the problems that I have with this backing fabric, right off the bat, I see I have a definite right and wrong way to put this on the long arm. See that cute little kitten right there? I want that kitten standing up straight. The last thing that I want when they turn the quilt over is to see that kitten laying sideways. I want that kitten walking. So there is definitely a direction to this backing fabric. So what that's telling me is that no matter what, no matter how I decide to put this backing together, it's going to have to run vertically. So no matter what, I know when I calculate it out, my pieces are going to have to run like this. All right, and I just happen to know I do need 3 widths. The width of the fabric is, I always figure 40 inches, unless the fabric comes from a Joann's or a Michael's or any place like that. If you're getting your fabric from those places, I really want you to double check how wide your fabric is. This fabric is a free spirit, and I know it's at least 40 inches wide, if not a little bit wider. And I cannot count my, I'm sorry, I'm not in frame. I cannot count the selvage in it, okay? This is actually Tabby Road by Tulip Pink, and this one's called Disco Kitty, so that you know. All right, so I know my fabric's 40 inches wide. So the width of my quilt is 104. So I know if I did it 2 widths, I'm going to end up with 80 wide. So I know I need at least 3 widths because 40 times 3 will give me 120 inches. So I know that I'm going to need 3 widths of my fabric. Isn't that easy? Nice and easy peasy. No problems there. This is going to be a seam. Seam and a seam. I'll write it. And then we'll all know. This is a seam and this is a seam. The next thing I need to do is figure out how much fabric I need to get at least 113 inches. Because remember, the length of my quilt is 113 inches. So if I take 100, am I in there? Yes. If I take 113 inches and I divide that by 36, I'm going to grab a calculator. I come out with 3.13 yards. So I know in order to get this quilt quilted, I'm going to need 3 pieces of fabric of fabric. And they are going to need to be at least 3¼ yards long. That is how you go about calculating how much fabric you need to back a quilt when you're backing it with directional fabric. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you again next week for Quick Tip Tuesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye, everybody.